Here we are live again. Reveal number 633. This is 1952D. Lincoln cent roll. Pretty well known for having a lot of RPMs, 1952D. Also has an OMM and a couple of very strange RPMs. Not much for double dice. We're going to check the first 10 coins on the reverse and move on if we don't see any double dice in those first 10 coins. I do have to make it to the post office before they close today because I have a lot of mail to send out. So I'm going to kind of rush through this a little bit, but it's not going to be so fast that we won't be able to see what's going on. First coin for Sureg is, well, nothing on the mint mark. There are two different mint mark styles for 1952D. This is considered the small mint mark, and there is a larger mint mark that we will observe if we see it. Check the reverse on these first 10 coins. Nothing doubled there. And that's coin number 1. Now number 2. Ron Smith. And we have a little hit on the mint mark. Hello, Eric. Where did I go? Here we go. I lost it. Got that die gouge right next to the 9. That'll help us determine that we've already seen other coins from this particular die pair. So we will be able to more or less look at them quickly and skip. All right, number 3, Mark. Okay. This one appears to be some sort of a hit on the mint mark. Some sort of an abrasion or a lamination peel. It's peeled off a little bit. Got a die crack between the 9-5 of the date on this one. Little die crack. All right. Nothing else there. Sometimes these 52Ds are absolutely loaded with RPMs, and sometimes there's not a single one on the roll. Just depends on exactly where you got involved in getting your roll, where the mint was in making them. That's another one with the gouge, so we're only going to look at the obverse on this one because the reverse is not going to be a double die. That was from Mr. McCumber. Pretty decent looking coins here. I mean, they're in pretty decent shape. This 52D is not excessively known for coming nice. They're kind of generally a little odd, a little kind of off looking sometimes. Little stain right where a doubled eyelid would be. Nothing else there. This one's for Carl, so move on now to coin number 6. This one's for Stan. Stan the man. Ooh, this is a large D. This is the larger size mint mark. Yeah, nothing there. Unfortunately, sometimes we see nothing at all. We can't find the coin. Hello? Where are you? Nothing there. Number 7. Mama Shoe. Mama Shoe, you back? Did you find us on here? not going to have an RPM here. Not a double die either. Nope. Number 8. Jordan. Same die Mama Shoe just got. Well, what the hell is that? I didn't say that. What is that? What? Did Mama's coin have that? Hang on just a second here. I know it's the same die, but did Mama's coin have that? Let's see. Stick it on here next to this one. It does. I have no idea what that is. Some chance? Maybe? I don't know. Die crack? No. Doesn't look like one. I'm talking about this little ridge line just under the center of the 5. Let's dig in here. Let's dig in. Yeah, look at that. That is not part of the 5. But I'm not sure what it is. It would have to be a tooling gouge or something. Huh. That's very strange. I do not know what that is, but I am going to separate them. That could be part of a demint mark. Kind of doubt it, but it could be. Is that just a reflection? That could just be a reflection. It certainly looks weird. Put Mama Shoe's coin back. I know that both of them have it, so. Okay, and this one is Jordan's coin. I'm going to keep watching the center of the 5 there to see if we have what appears to be those vertical bars on the rest of the coins. I haven't ever noticed that. Maybe it was just the angle of lighting and the particular time of day that got it this time around, but okay, yeah, this doesn't have it. I had no idea what that stuff was. Well, alright, let me back out here. Get us back into a position where we can actually see what we're doing. And this does not have that. This is the one that has the gouge between the 9 and the 5 there. Definitely an original roll. Running in the same die pairs over and over again. There's those. That looks like a cat scratched it. So this will be the cat scratch die. Then when I go to Otis, no, they don't re-engrave digits like that, Patreus. That's just not something they do. By the way, hello, haven't seen you in a while. I see this also does not have it. It's not part of the reflection. I just kind of realized that as I look through these. Just not there. So there is something going on. Usually when I notice something, it's going to be something that's kind of different or off. I've looked at enough coins, very little about reflections or lighting issues are going to set me off. There's an interesting later die state coin, the die crack on the bottom of the 1, a die crack from the 9 almost to the D. That is somewhat common for 1952D, unfortunately. There were a lot of dies that evidently were used far beyond their normal life. Number 12, Sissy. Let's see what we got here for Sissy. Sissy could actually have an RPM here. Looks like we have just a little bit of doubling possible on the upper inside of the mint mark. Just right inside the upper part of the hole right here. This little line right there could possibly be an RPM. We'll hold it to check it just in the event. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's our cat scratch die. So either they all are or they all are not. Yeah, there's your gouge off the east part of the 9 pointed toward the top of the 5. So, okay, this one goes in a purgatory pile. Kind of out separate and distant and different. And let's check number 13, see if we come into the same die again. This one's for Mama Shoe. No. Mama Shoe gets... well, it's a much cleaner looking earlier die state. Oh, look at that. That's definitely an RPM. I do believe. Okay, I do not know exactly what's going on here, but I would be remiss if I didn't pull this out and study it further. It looks like you have some pretty decent stuff going on here inside the mint mark, but also up here. That is raised. Not really sure exactly what it is right now. We'll have to check it later. See for sure. It could just be anomalous marks. Just like this. And just like this. Sometimes you just get that. But that is definitely different. Strange. When nothing you have is automatic, you have to do all of it by hand. As far as focus and distance and zoom and all that stuff are concerned, it can consume you rather quickly. Mama, we're going to stick this one off to the side for you just in case. And on to Mickey now. And, okay, there's another one of those that has that odd mark under the 5. I was not dreaming that. That could be a die crack. It looks like it may be a die crack. But it is definitely not just a reflection. It's just hard for me to call it a die crack, too. It looks too soft. Okay, well, this one is definitely going in the pile with the other ones just like it. We have to make some sort of a determination as to what we have, but that determination comes upon re-examination of the roll, not during the initial examination, by which we're just discovering. We're just making the discoveries now. There's another one of them. This is a little bit torn up, but you can still see the mark under the center of the 5. Another of the same die. That one's for Paul. Hey, sissy. Here's one for Ant. Let's see what Ant gets out of here. Not another one. The shape of the lower part of the center of the 5 is just completely different. on this as it was with those last few coins. A die crack out of the D of God. But very normal. Coin number 17 now. This one's for Sireg. See what we end up with here. There is another one. Nope, that isn't one of them. That is not one of them. And this is a normal 52D. Okay, so this is the cat scratch. Let's see if we have that shadow on the inside. Yee, we kind of do, but it's not an RPM. That just comes from strike over pressure. Can tend to wear the die strangely. So we're back to where number 13. See, number 13, that was from Mama's Shoe. What do we see on this one? It made us stick it to the side. Oh yeah, anomalous marks around the D. That's right. Remember that one now. Mickey comes up next. Mickey? There we go. There's one of those ones that has that strange appearance under the middle of the 5. It's got a point down there that doesn't really belong there. Just kind of strange. But, you know, like with any other strange thing, we put it down for now, pick it up later when we have time to actually study it, take a better look at it, figure out what it is, and get it, well, listed if it needs to be. Definitely some oddballery going on there. There's one for Sissy now, again. I got a nothing on this one. Yeah, unfortunately. Big 0. Next coin, number 20. Ron Smith. Ron Smith, what do we got? Well, see, there's another one that looks like it has that little thing on the inside. Perhaps that is just part of the punch base. Sometimes that happens where the punch base has some anomalous stuff in it. 1970S is another one that has that, where you have a little hump in the lower hole of the S on the mint mark, and that happened on most, if not nearly all of them. Eric, you like my term oddballery, huh? I'm into coining new phrases, making up new words. That's because my English tends to wander in different directions sometimes. There's number 22, Carl. There's another one like Mama Shoes. It's got a weird mark at the top of the D. That may turn out to not be anything, but it kind of looks a little different. So, I'm going to stick it in as a possible die variety and have Eric take a better look at it. We both kind of look these things over and we come to an agreement. Sometimes via telephone, we're actually talking to one another when we figure out what we're doing with these things. I try not to make assumptions and just assume that, oh yeah, we're going to list that. That's an RPM. No, not necessarily. At least my new words make sense. No, Mama Shoe, there's a couple of different things. The first thing is 1952D. Oh, look at that. Nice RPM there. 1952D is certainly not known for... That's a very interesting looking gash there. That is weird. That is sunken in. So there had to be some sort of damage done to the hub itself. But Okay, so here's the deal on that. Millions of 1952D Lincoln cents studied to date. Not one of them had a double die reverse. We have literally thousands of coins that have been checked during reveals on this very channel. Not one of them was a die variety. That's a piece of trash sitting inside the D there. And we are going to check the reverses on all these anyway, just not during the broadcast period of the show. Here's a Roger coin, and that's got the gash. So it's going to have the cat scratch over here. And it did. Cat scratch coin. Sureg. So Wolverine had a hand in that. Sureg, that's another gash and cat scratch coin right there. Go over here, and there's our cat scratch. $28 now. Mickey. Mickey. Shit, nothing. Ain't nothing there. We're beginning to a buy going on here. Little die break between the B and the E. Those could be pretty interesting. Oops. My wife is calling. I'll have to call her back as soon as this is over. Mama Shoe next up. There's an... Ugh. Hang on. Let me get this. Okay, back in. This Mama Shoe coin is the same as the other Mama Shoe coin I held out, so I'm going to hold this one out too. And see what happens here. I bet fully half of these may not be anything, but I'm holding them just to be sure they don't get lost in the mix. That's all. Coin number 30 now for Jordan. And this one's going to turn out to be a normal 1952D. How about 31? Run. What we got here? That's another one of the Mama Shoe looking coins. One's got the little horn thing coming up off the top of the D. So we're going to hang on to this one. Just like we did the others. Eric up next. See what Eric gets. Well, this one is a normal 52D. Well, a lot of times these 52Ds, man, you can get yourself into a little bit of trouble opening up a 52D roll. Because you could get a roll that's got like 15 different dies in it. You got 2 or 3 examples of each different die, and they're all very, very similar to one another. I don't even know how many 52D RPMs there will be altogether once everything is said and done, discovered, found, and listed. But it's going to be a lot. I know that number is going to be big. We're talking about 3 digits. Somewhere in or around 100. The Mama Shoe coin. I've had sissy coins. I've had coins named after probably about half the people in this place. At one point in time or another, just depends on whether or not you're the lucky one to have been pulled first. Because I named the coins, named the dice, so I'll know what I'm looking at when I keep going into the rolls. Here's one for Parvez. Let's see what Parvez gets. Wasn't that kind of interesting? A mark coming down off the bottom of the D. It's not. That looks like maybe a die gouge. That's what that is. That's a die gouge. Yeah, unfortunately. Been watching a lot of the weather chasing lately because I love chasing storms, and we don't get really storms around here to chase. So when I used to live in Oklahoma, I would chase thunderstorms. This is gonna be a cat scratch coin. So Dan says Ted Nugent coin. You get one of them, Dan. But so there's this young guy who's out doing hunting, chasing storms. There is another Mama Shoe coin. This one goes to Richard. This Mama Shoe coin here, we may actually prove this to be a Class 6 double die. It could possibly be a Class 6. Look how thick the stem of the 5 and the 2 are, and then look the outer edge of the T and trust and this T and the E, they're all concave, which generally speaks of minor Class 6 double die. But anyhow, I'm watching all of these storm chasers lately. Man, there's a ton of them on YouTube now. I noticed this one young guy. He's from Nebraska. His name is Freddie McKinney. And he loves to chase the storms. And man, he's got so much energy. Makes me feel like I'm all bombastic and ready to get out there and chase a storm just because I'm watching him do it. And Freddie is inexperienced at doing broadcasting, live streaming, stuff like that. He's getting better at it. His dad does it. And used to do it with Freddie in the car, and now Freddie got his own car. Grew up in his 20s, I guess, now. There's another one of those with the really weird mark in the 5. That is an RPM, as was the other one. I've done spotting classes before. I was actually a storm spotter in Missouri. I was a chaser in Oklahoma. I used to drive across the state chasing storms and meeting up with other chasers. And that was when I was in the military. All right, so that one is going to be another variety possibility. And anyhow, Freddie McKinney, back on my subject, really good kid, young guy, chases the storms. I really like him. Got a lot of energy, but man, he's got some bad habits. One of his bad habits is calling everyone watching this show chat. Look at that, chat. Look at that. Look at that, chat. I don't like calling my people chat. That makes it seem very impersonal. Here's another one of those. A strange mark under the 5. Oh, personally, I can't stand Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer yells too much. He gets excited and he's got a lot of passion. He's got a lot of vocability. But when it comes to chasing storms, he has way too much exciting energy for me. But Freddie, if he could not repeat himself, because he says, look at the structure on that storm. Look at the structure on that storm. Look at that structure. Look at that structure, chat. It's like, dude, we heard it the first time. He'll learn. He'll come around. But man, he has done, he's done a lot in chasing storms down. This one was an RPM here for Eric May. I didn't know Jim Cantori actually got out and did chasing. He's been one of the head meteorologists of the Weather Channel for a long time. And I've seen him up and around. Like, I remember the thunder, snow, lightning scene where he basically came from together when he was out in a blizzard and suddenly there was a strike of lightning. But I don't remember him much for doing spring and summer season chasing. He's mostly a snow guy that I've noticed. Nothing on this one. Snow, and I've seen him do hurricanes too. He's one of the ones that I've seen that are kind of suspect about how they handle live broadcasting during hurricanes. I've seen it before where people will go out to do a live broadcast of a hurricane and they act like it's like super windy, super strong wind, gonna pick me up and run away with me. There we go. There's one of those ones with a weird mark. And you see somebody like behind the camera shooting cell phone video of it, and it's only the weather person that seems to be blown around, so I bet there's other people on the sidewalk walking around just fine. Makes me wonder. Wow, man. Hurricane Katrina. It's nearly 20 years ago. You believe that shit? Nearly 20 years ago. September 2005. Labor Day weekend. When that occurred. So we got about a year and a half or so before we're at 20 years. I almost can't believe it. It's like, where is time going? Right? Right, chat? Where's time going? Right, chat? Mama Shu, hider in storms. What state you live in, Mama Shu? I can't remember. Strong storm on a mountain. The loved one's getting pounded by hail about nickel size. Wow. Ran down the mountain to get to the trees. I bet. Man, you probably got a lot of stories, Mickey. What you have done, I am super, super envious of. Another cat scratch coin here. There it is. Super envious. Got to be able to go out on a 100-plus mile hike with your adult son. Have a good bonding time. That would be so cool to be able to do that. Just to let everybody know, Mickey has invited me to go along with him and his son Anthony next year when they head back out for the mountains again. And I'm actually seriously considering the possibility of going. Roger, last coin, last roll for today. Pretty coin, nothing on it. Mickey, we're going to have to get together for one day just to talk. Because there's going to be plenty of it, I'm sure. Let me count the RPMs here. RPMs, possible RPMs, other errors and strange things, so they're not all RPMs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So just the opposite of the other one. There were 15 normal coins. This one, there are 15 varieties, and here is a run through the names so you can see. God, Mama Shu, all three of her coins were something. 2 of them are Mama Shu coins, so she gets her Mama Shu coins. And there we go. That's it for that, folks. I got to run off to the post office, cook dinner, and get everything else ready before I come back to the Roll Reveal Show. Roll Reveal Show will be this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not forget that we will have a 1943 Philadelphia original bank wrap roll to sell this evening. We will also have a 1943 S original gem roll to go through. Some really, really, really scarce stuff to get. Yes. Otis. Hammer Die. Obverse. Yes, sir. All right, folks. I'll see you guys later on this evening after I get back from the post office and get my dinner in me. But I will talk to you at 7 p.m. Be good.